Hello, everyone. Ken Tumolo, Tumolo Financial. Welcome to this month's Tumolo Talk. The big topic, and I felt this is a good one to go over, had to do with the big, beautiful bill that was passed and the effect on retirees. So, what I want to do is just go over about four or five items covering some of the things that happened within that bill. And I'll try to make it quick. I won't go into all of the details. First item I'd point out is the higher standard deduction. Right now, we know that was a big thing that happened in previous bill. It made it where a lot of us wouldn't have to itemize, and it would help it so that we actually got a little bit more back in our tax return. Now they're raising that, and they're also indexing it, which they're already doing, but indexing it against inflation. So it'll continue to go up that standard deduction, helping us on our tax return. One big one that was just added is the senior bonus, and depending on income, you may qualify for this. For as a couple, as long as you make under 150,000, or an individual making less than 75,000, then you qualify. You should qualify for the $6,000 bonus tax deduction. Once we see all the pieces of the bill, we may be able to actually work the tax return showing less income so that you actually qualify for this. So depending on how you saved and how we do some tax planning on how you're drawing money in retirement, this is something that you may be able to gain too. Estate and gift taxes. Permanently brought the level up. So now, for an example, if you had $14 million, so the limit per person is 15 million. So my example is if you had $14 million of assets that you're passing on to someone, then there'll be no estate and gift taxes on it. Once you go over 15 million per person, then there'll be some taxes. As a couple, you double the number, so you can go to $30 million and pass that on tax-free. So makes it nice and easy. This way, we're not all owing taxes, moving money along to beneficiaries. So let's just say you had $1 million or $2 million and you're passing it on to beneficiaries. You're in the clear. You don't even have to worry about this piece. Uh, Salt cap, I felt this was a big one. And there was a lot of talk about this in Connecticut. All of us were, well, I shouldn't say all of us, but many of us were hit by this cap, where they were only allowing $10,000 on basically, let's say, state taxes, property taxes, adding that up before we can deduct against it. They actually brought that number up to 40,000 now so that we can deduct. So if you're someone that owns multiple properties and a high income earner, this actually might help you. It might be better than that standard deduction that I talked about in the beginning, because it would push you over the standard deduction and it would actually help your tax return. Whereas before, when they were limiting a person to 10,000 in this area of their tax return, it was hurting them, especially in, like, I'm going to say Connecticut, New York, these states where property taxes are a little bit higher, and then you add to it a state income tax. This is where it was hurting someone. So by raising that cap limit, it actually helps quite a few people in Connecticut. Capital gains brackets. I thought this was an interesting one too. It's actually the last one I'm going to touch on. For those of you that don't know, capital gains is on, we'll just talk about stock for an example. So if you have stock that's not in a retirement account, so a non-retirement account, then you're taxed on the gains of that stock, and the levels are 0, 15, and 20. What they did was they actually brought up the levels of where it kicks in. So you qualify for the 0% rate at a much higher level. So depending on how you saved for retirement, or if your job gave you company stock, there might be a way to save you money in taxes. So this is another piece that we can use in the planning. Again, as always, we're here to help. Basically, just give us a call, 860-650-3005, or just go to our website, tfcheckup.com, and you can book an appointment right there. Thank you. Talk to you soon.